I'm going to do the Aries weekly energy reading for March 3rd to March 9th. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. We're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, advice from the tarot, and possible future energies. All right, so what you may possibly be struggling with. All right, we have the Five of Wands, a battle going on. We have the Page of Wands. And then we have the King of Swords, and I feel like one more, the Queen of Swords. Kind of a lot of people around you, because we have the Page of Wands, we have the King of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords. A lot going on there. Power struggle. That's what I feel like. Is it a power struggle? The beginning of something. I kind of feel like with that page, I felt like young, new, the beginning of something, trying to take an action, trying to do something, but I feel like there's just this power struggle going on, like this battle, this back and forth could be between you and someone else. It could be between you and maybe your parents for some reason. I'm feeling that. Like maybe you're the page and then it's the king and queen that maybe you have this conflict with, or someone that's older than you. Could be somebody that's younger than you with the page. That was kind of the first thing I thought, but I almost feel like it could have to do with parents possibly, or people that you look up to, or people that you've been around for a long time. Let's grab some other cards here from this deck. For some reason, I don't feel like the king and queen is the energy for you. I feel like it represents someone else for some reason. And for some reason, I'm kind of feeling like the Page of Wands represent you. Like you're trying to branch out, or you're trying to do something different, but it's almost like we have the Two of Swords, lots of swords. And then I feel like you're trying to branch out on your own. I feel like you're trying to create your own, right? And you're having trouble standing up for yourself, because I feel like to me, I feel like this represents either that person or people that you're trying to stand up to, but I feel like in some way you feel powerless. In some way you feel that you're not going to be able to you can't seem to get your point across. It's almost like I go with the energy that I'm feeling with the reading, and like I'm having trouble getting my point across. So I kind of feel like a wall or something stuck, or there's something in the way, or I'm having trouble getting it out, or having people, maybe you're having trouble for people to understand your point of view. That maybe sometimes there's people that can only see things their way, like they live in their own bubble, and no matter what you do, you could show them 100% proof that, that this is something that is true, and they won't. Like you could say the sky is blue, and they're like, no, the sky is, pink, and and you can show them proof, and they're like, no, like the sky is pink. And unfortunately, I've met a few people like that, and they're not going to see it the way that you see it. And it can be very frustrating, especially if it's someone that you're close to, or you're trying to get a point across, or you're trying to say something, and they're just not understanding it. And you just feel like you're backed up against a wall, and you just feel like it's just not getting through. It's just not happening. So let's look at the advice from the tarot. Advice from the tarot, we have Justice, which is Libra, and Balance. We have, again, with Balance, the Two of Pentacles, okay? I almost feel like, could it be like some sort of a compromise? What else? What other tarot advice do we have here? Temperance, Sagittarius. That's so funny because when I said compromise, this is a card that I was thinking of. It's so crazy, like even now after all of these years, it's so crazy that, you know, like I'll have something in my mind and I say something and the next thing I know, there's a card that comes out that confirms that. So I feel like, what is that compromise that's going to work in your favor? Okay, definitely we have balance here between, you know, this person is balancing on this tightrope here and balancing these two pentacles. And then we also have the Justice card, which has the scales, which represent balance. And then we have Temperance, which is patience, and it also represents compromise. Are you kind of being you know, stubborn within yourself and saying, you know, that it only has to be this one way? I mean, I'm just putting this out there. I'm not saying that you are. Like I said, take what resonates, leave what does not. Sometimes we have to take a hard look at ourselves and say, okay, how am I presenting this information? Or am I being stubborn? Am I not compromising? I know I've definitely done that before. Like, I'm just like, no, like I see it my way, especially like sometimes I have a shorter temper with some people. And I'm just like, you know, then I'm just like, So sometimes you have to look at like how you're, and realizing that. And I know that, you know, there's some people that I have a shorter temper with and I'm not really able to compromise, or I have to kind of step back and calm down and then be like, okay, you're right, you know, let's figure this out. So I kind of feel like the advice is how can you find that balance? How can you find that compromise that's going to work so that you're not stuck in this energy here with this Five of Wands? And sometimes I feel like the compromise is better than trying to fight for something. Obviously, you believe in something, you want to fight for it, you want to make it happen, but also if you feel like you're at a stalemate and nothing's going to happen and that it could possibly be creating more problems, that it's like, okay, it's better to compromise and being able to end it and move on rather than staying in this Five of Wands energy. We have the Queen of Wands, okay, taking control of the situation, stepping up to the plate, possibly being the bigger person. We have the Nine of Pentacles, right? And then we have the Ace of Wands. So I kind of feel like it also goes with stepping up to the plate, possibly being that bigger person and saying, okay, this is the next step that I need to do with that Ace of Wands, right? Moving on from the situation. Having that determination and saying, you know, with that Queen of Wands is having that determination and saying, you know what, I really want to move past this, that I don't want to stay in this energy anymore. I don't want to stay in this situation anymore. And that stepping up to the plate and saying, okay, this is what's going to work for me, you know, having that compromise and being able to work through the situation. And, you know, sometimes it's like sometimes people just like to have the drama. And they like to just stir the pot, and then they just like to sit back and watch and see what happens. And, you know, maybe if that's the situation, then you're like, you know what, it's just time for me to move on with that Ace of Wands there. That it's just time for you to move on and say, okay, I'm leaving this, I'm moving on, and I'm not going to be in that energy anymore, right? And not fueling that fire anymore. But you have to find what is best for you and find that balance with that Justice card. Like, what's going to work for you? And that Two of Pentacles, what's going to work for you? What's going to be the best solution for you? Future energies, we have the Chariot. I love it. That forward movement, you feel like you're in control. You're back in the saddle again, right? Things are back on track. We have new opportunities are opening up for you with this Seven of Cups, feeling good. I love this with the pretty castle and the rainbow and all the colors. That always makes me feel good. I feel like it represents like positive opportunities and branching out in new directions, and you're no longer stuck in this heavy energy. And so now so many new doors are opening up. And then feeling proud of yourself for standing up for yourself. Because over here was the challenge. We have the Seven of Wands over here where you feel challenged to stand up for yourself. But over here in the future energy, we have the Seven of Wands where it's like finally feeling like you were able to stand up for yourself and feeling proud of yourself and saying, you know what? Maybe I had to compromise, maybe I had to walk away, but I really looked out for myself, and I knew that I didn't want to be in that energy anymore, and I knew that it was time for me to move on from the situation, that it was time for me to move away from that, because that wasn't serving me. It was just draining me. We have the Knight of Swords, taking those chances, forward movement, feeling excited, having that sword up in the air, especially with that eagle. I feel the eagle represents success and victory, and saying, yeah, like I won, I accomplished it, I stood up for myself, especially with that Seven of Wands. We have the Star card, which is hope and guidance and direction, and feeling motivated, and just feeling like you're back on track. That's what I was saying when the Chariot came out. Like, you feel like you're back on track, and you're just like probably saying, why did I wait so long to make this happen? But, you know, it's like you have to realize that at that time, like, you had to get to this point in order for you to make that choice and decision and to move on. And that, you know, when you were going through it, that you weren't in that frame of mind, and that you had to be in the right frame of mind. And we have the Nine of Cups, and it's that emotional fulfillment. But I feel like, especially with the, oh, I think I have to sneeze. With the Chariot, the Seven of Cups, and the Nine of Cups, I feel like it's moving towards your Nine of Cups. I feel like it's moving towards that and opening up new doors to possibilities. And the Nine of Cups can represent that fulfillment and that happiness that you feel, but you're charging right towards that. Like, over here, you're not charging towards your Nine of Cups. Over here, you're kind of stuck and stagnant, and kind of, you know, even if you're realizing, you know what, this isn't serving me. Like, how am I going to have my Nine of Cups happen? How am I going to open up those doors for that to happen when I'm stuck in this? Is this really worth it? That's what I was saying with that Queen of Wands, is having that determination and saying, you know what, and that motivation to say, you know what, this isn't serving me. I don't want to spend time in this. I want to spend time in my Star card, you know, that guidance, that direction towards my Nine of Cups. That's where I want to spend my time. That's what makes me feel good, right? With that, again, with that Seven of Wands. Right? Working towards that, fighting for that, and saying, that's what makes me happy. Sometimes we have to realize that and say, you know what, this isn't serving me. It's time for me to move on. Let's grab a animal oracle. You can't get the time back. That's the biggest thing to realize, is that you can't get the time back. Time goes by so quickly, and you can't get the time back. You can't rewind it, and you can't say, oh, can I have a do-over? And it's like preventing that before it happens, preventing that, looking back and saying, I spent so much time trying, you know, in this Five of Wands energy, and that I wish I could have had that time back, because now I'm in this Nine of Cups energy, and I want as much time as I can in this Nine of Cups energy. We have be loyal to what you love, dog spirit. I love it. And I feel like that's really important, is be loyal to what you love, especially with this Seven of Wands and this Nine of Cups. What do you love? What brings you enjoyment? What brings you happiness? Right? What brings you excitement? Be loyal to that. Don't be loyal to the drama and the Five of Wands. Don't be loyal to that. Be loyal to the Nine of Cups. Let's grab a Star Dragons. Sometimes we have to really look at our focus and say, okay, what am I focusing on, right? Am I focusing on the wrong thing? We have Transcendence, achieving success. Without a doubt, you can achieve success, but you have to make sure that you're focusing on the right thing, that you're focusing on what's important, and it's leveling up. And what does success represent to you? And I feel like it's, again, going back to that Nine of Cups. What does that represent to you? And working on that and working towards that. What does that represent? Right? Not wasting time with the Five of Wands. But putting all that frustration and that anger towards your Nine of Cups, right? Use that as fuel, that Five of Wands. Use it as fuel to get to your Nine of Cups. We have new life. I love it. New life. A new life. It doesn't mean you have to end everything the way that it was, but you have this new life because you've moved on from this Nine of Wands, and you don't have this King and Queen of Swords, whatever that represents. It could be your own mental thoughts within yourself. It could be doubt. I mean, it could be that blockage that you have within yourself, or it could represent some people. For me, I feel like it represents a person or people around you. For some reason, that's what I feel. But that's the cool thing about the tarot, is that there's no exact answer. There's no exact way to read the cards. It's kind of just goes on, I feel it goes on emotions and feelings. And I've had times where I've watched readers and I've seen the cards, but I felt there was a different message than what the reader was saying. And I felt that that message was for me. So if you feel, you know, whatever energies or whatever message that you feel, that it is for you. I also wanted to grab this other card, and it's the fork in the road. I felt like this other one wanted to come out, that you're at a fork in the road, where it's like, are you going to keep yourself in this energy, or are you going to move towards this future energy, you know, with this here, right? It's like, which one are you going to focus on with this? Are you going to stand up for your 9 of Cups and your Star card, or are you going to stand up for this 5 of Wands and this energy over here? And I feel like you're at this crossroads, and it's come to the end, right? The fork in the road is you've come to the end of a situation, and it's like, okay, which way are you going to go? What's going to happen? But only you can answer that, right? That only you can answer where you go from here. Let's grab a Oracle Tarot card. We have Solitude. It was so funny because I was just about to say that you need that time to yourself to figure out, because you're at this fork in the road and it's such an important choice and decision for you, that you're at the fork in the road. And I was kind of feeling the Hermit. I didn't say it. I kind of wish I did. But we have Solitude number 9, which is the Hermit card, and it's looking within. And that's what I feel like you really need to do. That's going to bring you the answers that you're searching for. Make sure that you're in a place that you feel that you're not being disturbed, that you're not being distracted, that you're truly able to have that quiet time and that alone time for yourself to really work through your thoughts and feelings. For me, I like to go out to the barn. It's very quiet out there. It's like 125 acres, so there's lots of land, there's ponds, you can go for walks, you can go for walks through the woods, or just hang out by the pond, and it's really quiet, and they have beautiful, like the birds are there, and there's a hawk, and I've actually seen a bald eagle out there. It's super cool. Bald eagles are huge, which I didn't realize they were so big. But it's really nice to be out there, and that is kind of like my solitude place. So where is your solitude place where you're really able to think and be clear about what your next move is going to me, or where you go from here, right? Because you're at this fork in the road. But make sure that you don't have a lot of chatter, that you don't have a lot of noise around you, that you have that quiet place. Let's grab an Angel Answers. We have Don't Stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't give up. Don't let this situation overwhelm you. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it control you. Don't let that control you. You control the situation, right? Getting things back under control with this future energies in this Chariot, where you are driving the chariot, right? That you're not being the passenger, but that you're driving the chariot. Let's see. Let's grab a Whispers of Healing to close it out. Get back in the saddle. Let's see. Sincere relationships. Sincere relationships. So I feel like, you know, this could represent these two people here, or it also could be, I also feel that it can represent the relationship that you have with yourself, that it's a sincere, honest relationship, that you see that you're struggling with something and that you're looking out for yourself and you're saying, you know what, I need to make some changes here. I need to change something up. I see that I'm spending too much time in this negativity and this situation, and that I need to make some changes, and I have to step up to the plate for myself, right? And looking out for yourself, because no one else is going to do it. I always feel like you have to look out for yourself first, and you have to be able to trust and rely on yourself, and say that if you feel that you're struggling with something, that you're able to really make those choices and say, you know what, I got to change something up here, because I got to stand up for my nine of Cups, right? Whatever that may represent for you. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.